now. So,
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
This is now.
All right, guys.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
Happy Indictment Day.
Yes. We're so excited. As soon as we heard this, we recorded our individual takes on this, and now we're doing this right now. We wanted to make it live. We can't do it. We'll be able to make it live tomorrow. But right now we're going to do this. And this is exciting. We're waiting here for, I guess, Fani. Is it going to be Fani Willis or just a representative spokesperson that we know?
It looks like they have some of the sheets, but Fani is supposed to be making a statement.
That's
I think a little bit, but again, like we've been talking.
And right now, I'm kind of checking updates. I got my little handy dabbly.
And I'm trying to make sure that I got everything
here, and I am checking stuff as
checking volumes, making sure volume is up on everything.
Full story.
It should be because should be. We jumped right on. We didn't even get a chance to really set up. We wanted to kind of get this going here at ASAP as it was developing in Georgia. And I was just telling Nicole that it is freaking hot. So I know there's people running around. It was 112 degrees today.
Yes.
It's basically requisite crimes. Some of these, like false statements and forgery, satisfy that predicate crime requirement to prove a RICO case. So it does.
Okay, they're talking about the RICO aspect.
Yes.
Like forgery and false statements in this document right now.
All right, it looks like they are possibly charging for RICO.
President Donald Trump.
You know what I'm glad about? I can tell that they weren't prepared either. You see them grabbing stuff.
Right. Well, they just received it.
And now we're getting even more documents coming to the news desk right now.
Yeah.
Let's actually.
Hey, dude in green shirt. Every time I see somebody walking across the
street.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
These severe storms are now closing in.
We talked about damage.
We're going to go to a commercial. I'm sorry if our hair is like a little jacked.
I know, because again, I got to tell y'all.
Attorney's office. This is the introduction here.
Hello.
Donald John Trump lost the United States presidential election held on November 3rd, 2020. One of the states he lost was Georgia. Trump and the other defendants charged in this indictment refused to accept that Trump lost, and they knowingly and willfully joined a conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump. That conspiracy contained a common plan and purpose to commit 2 or more acts of racketeering activity in Fulton County, Georgia, elsewhere in the state of Georgia, and in other states. Again, if you're just joining us, that is the one-paragraph introduction to this. I'm going to
turn this down just a little.
Very thick stack of indictments, and just to recap everything that's going on right now.
I just want to make sure that we can be heard as well.
We have learned that 19 people are named in this indictment.
You know, before we learn. Mark Meadows, Lindsey,
it's a very thick stack.
Lindsey Graham,
41 charges.
Rudy Giuliani.
Conference by the DA's office expected to happen, where she will likely lay out the charges.
Those are the top 3 for me. Everybody else can get bent. I want those 3.
So how large is this comparative?
So whoever else got entangled in that web, so sorry for you, y'all. But the fact that the grand jury returned as quickly as it did, what it did, they looked at that stuff. They said, "Oh no, bro."
Absolutely.
Obviously has more.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just making sure that we don't have anything where we can talk over them.
In real time, and
we have some more copies coming to the desk right now.
I think people
more stuff's coming.
Are probably getting ready to read through this.
Right, we're just going to keep this up in the volume.
Eastman here, you see him on your screen.
John Eastman.
He is named.
Yes.
Why do y'all keep doing that?
It shows you how hot it is here.
John Eastman is listed.
By the Fulton County grand jury.
I know, I gotta go get my drink.
Yeah, girl, look how big this thing is. As big as my head. That's how hot it was.
The vice president
too hot.
refused to count some of Biden's 2020 electoral.
And we got another one.
Also, during a Georgia State Senate hearing on in December of 2020, Eastman told lawmakers that they had the duty to replace the state's slate of Democratic electors, citing widespread voter fraud, later debunked by Georgia Secretary of State's Elections Board investigation and others. And finally, we should know John Eastman is a former law clerk of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas.
Another person that is listed in this indictment is attorney Jenna Ellis. She was among the Trump allies who testified in the Georgia Senate about voter fraud. In December of 2020, Fulton County prosecutors say Ellis continued to push claims of voter fraud even after state officials debunked them.
You don't say.
Jenna Ellis, I really think about Vice President.
Anybody who has been paying attention and not listening to the lies saw this coming. And I knew something was coming down the pipe because Marjorie Taylor Greene started coming out with her spin already. And what's dumb about them doing this spin, in my humble opinion, they don't know what the evidence is yet. They could be spinning their own graves right now.
About here that's listed in it is Trump's former New York former attorney.
Drunken Giuliani.
In 2018, he became
Come on now,
baby.
Lawyer for the
You're the next contestant in Bonnie's Rico case.
But and see, that's why that stuff was dripping off his head. He knew this was coming down. I'd almost feel sorry for him.
Oh, he knew.
To the Georgia Senate claiming that there was ballot stuffing in State Farm Arena. That's right here. He testified before the Georgia Senate panel in December of 2020 that has become a central part of both local and federal investigation.
And we had an interview with him tonight where he was on the streets of New York, where he was asked about the impending indictments in which he faced. He said these are all political and dynamic. That you
world's tiniest violin playing for them lives.
In all probability will be the nominee.
Yep, I just got the alert from
Giuliani said that this is all political and dynamic and in nature.
Oh, poor baby.
Meadows, the former Trump chief of staff, also mentioned this.
Screw you, Mark Meadows.
Infamous Raffensperger phone call and stuck alongside the president in the aftermath.
I'm sorry, we're probably going to get taken down for my cuss words.
Since this isn't live, I'll be able to
decide it. Okay.
President Trump.
Just bleep them out.
I think there's some words they're okay with, but I think the F word is the word.
We have obviously a lot more to get through here. I just want to flag one point as I am reading through this indictment. Early on in the paperwork here, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office lays out all 19 of the named defendants. We've been talking about them. We're working through them on air right now.
19 defendants.
It also says there are unindicted co-conspirators named individual 1 through individual 30.
What?
30 people.
Oh, heck no.
County District Attorney's Office were connected to a criminal conspiracy, the racketeering, the RICO.
Yes, girl.
Well,
not yet.
No. In a lot of cases, unindicted co-conspirators.
I'm looking at the sister in this. And she's just like, she's like, he's trying to be proud.
Testify.
It'd be really hard for me
It effectively means that the District Attorney's Office thinks there are more people connected to this and more people who have legal links.
She's professional because I'd be having a hard time.
Alleged criminal conspiracy.
Do you believe that we will see them named in the weeks ahead?
Impossible to say. The federal indictment released earlier, unsealed earlier this month, had 6 unindicted co-conspirators there as well. We'll have to keep a close eye on both situations to see how that plays out. It wouldn't surprise me if some of them are later named.
We used to hear some of that during the Watergate days, of unindicted co-conspirators into the break-in of the Watergate hotel.
Like I said, I think that's just what I'm saying now, because she's trying not to laugh, because that'd be mean.
It can be a very uncomfortable position to be in, too, if you're reading through this and you think you may be one of the unindicted co-conspirators. That certainly can put some pressure on you.
Like if you are watching our show,
there's some bricks being laid like eggs right now.
Let's keep moving through what we have here. I think we have.
We're going to talk about Cathy Latham next. She is indicted. She was involved with the fake elector.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What did you
That's the chick from Coffee County.
Here with this case.
Baby girl, who does this though? Who brings a crime? And they just take it something like, here's my crime, here's me cramming.
2016, you might have heard them called fake election. Following the election, the Republicans submitted illegitimate college votes in favor of President Donald Trump.
There's a reason why they call this stupid Watergate.
Witness George Cheeley talking about this is he saw in the courthouse.
Dog's like, good Lord, I don't even want to be
seen on surveillance footage on January 2nd,
let me take a selfie during my crime.
I know.
County
bank robbers taking their mask off.
The video you're seeing right there, people coming in and out of the office. That's the same day a voting system at that location was breached.
Shafer, the former head of the Georgia Republican Party, former state senator. Prosecutors say he was part of the alternate elector scheme following the election in which
former Georgia state senator
votes in favor
was involved in this.
President.
Now, you know, Watergate, the zillions of people got to, you know, in trouble behind that. So the same is going to happen here. The zillions of people get in trouble.
I'm going to try and turn this down a little more because it's really hard for me to hear you.
Okay, yeah. Hold on.
Let's dig a little bit more.
If you can bring your mic a little closer, maybe.
I think we all remember that period after.
Oh, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Give me a little bit better.
Better, much better.
Mo better. All right.
Mo better.
These allegations that
I need to go get my 10 o'clock pill. I'll be right back.
Right here in Georgia.
You watch this and tell me what I missed.
Fraudulent voting was presented, and on page 16 of this indictment, under the manner and methods of the enterprise section, prosecutors write, and I'm quoting here, I'm reading this just as we read it together. They say, members of the enterprise, this is the racketeering, the RICO enterprise they allege occurred. Members of the enterprise, including several of the defendants, appeared at hearings in Fulton County, Georgia, before members of the Georgia General Assembly on December 3rd, December 10th, and December 30th of 2020. At those hearings, members of the enterprise made false statements concerning fraud in the November 2020 presidential election. The purpose, the allegations right here, the prosecutors, I should say right here, the purpose of these false statements was to persuade Georgia legislators to reject votes cast by the duly elected and qualified presidential electors from Georgia.
So the translation of all of this is essentially that they came before the group of legislators and essentially lied. Is that correct? Is false statement charges?
Yes, it is.
That would be what false statements mean.
And solicitation of state legislators. You're exactly right.
Okay.
So we want to give Zach a little bit more time to get through this indictment because, as you guys can see here, I mean, it's a very thick. Let me see, how many pages is this? It looks like it's even nearly 100 pages worth of documents here. So we really want you to be able to go through it so we can bring it to you. So first, we want to get back to our Caitlin Ross. You've seen her live all night outside of the courthouse. We're going to go back to her right now. And Caitlin, if you can hear me, we want you to paint a picture for us, but also if you have any information at all about what's taking place inside. We're hearing that not all outlets are actually being allowed into the area where they're giving the press conference. I do believe that we have a camera in there. Caitlin, what are you hearing on your end?
They ain't letting everybody in.
Exactly
like
right.
Fox
We actually
News,
just walked up there. The district attorney changed the venue. We first thought it was going to be right here on the courthouse steps. About half an hour ago, we got notification it was going to be inside the government building. If you're familiar with Prior Street, that's just across the street, up the stairs, over in a conference room in the government building. And a heavy police presence in there. They're really being very careful about who they allow into this news conference. They have a clipboard.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think I pushed the button when I was
go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying that she was saying that they have to go to the governor's building, which is not, it's relatively close, but it's not like close.
We do have
they got a camera inside there. So
they already got a camera in the other place? Because she said
they already have one.
All right.
People to set up a live.
You see where it said at the bottom, Trump facing RICO charges?
Yeah, she better hurry up and get over there then, though.
The cameraman's there.
Like you said, this
I think they're only letting so many people in.
Oh, I see.
A lot of information to work.
Because she's not going to be reporting.
In this indictment,
they're just going to be letting Fonnie talk.
Oh, I see.
Has been investigating this case since January 3rd.
You know, we were discussing earlier, you and I, whether or not
allegations.
I should go down to the courthouse at some point and do a live review. I'm still thinking about the possibility of doing that.
Who needed
I don't know what point in the trial we want to.
this news
I think I
conference.
want to do it on a day when Trump's there because I think it'd be the safest day. They won't blow it up with him in it.
Cover sheet of that charging document hours ago, and since then,
I
it's
want to do the whole, jihad while he's in the building.
More of those details now. Zach Merchant walking through those legal charges, and as soon as
Can you hear me?
Bonnie Willis speak,
Oh, I can hear you pretty good. You can hear me though, right?
We're going to get a lot.
For some reason, it's just
See,
really.
there's a little button on here whenever I move it. Can you hear me?
And with you
Yeah.
here, who is to say that perhaps Fannie Willis
Can you
does
hear
not use confidence
Yes.
here in the
Okay,
next
I need to quit hitting that
45
button.
or 60 minutes, and really
I'm just
doesn't
looking
have
to see
a lot
if
to
there
say.
is.
I mean, might she
Anything
be
else?
somewhat
Is it-
silent about
It seems like no
attacks from
matter
here
how
on,
low
that she will
I
not
make
be
this,
completely
or besides that,
and that she doesn't feel that sort of need
Sorry.
to share with the public as of
That's
yet?
fine. Girl, I didn't even realize how sweaty I was until I just saw how I'm looking right now, all shiny. It's just like, this is the hottest day in record, 112 degrees.
There would be some
Yeah.
sort of news.
I think we've only gotten as far as about
conference.
105 here.
So that's
110,
wow.
112.
journalists
It's
out here
really
are all
super hot
combing
here.
through that documentation.
I'm gonna keep playing it.
Like 11 Alive, a lot of people have legal
I
analysts. who are
think I
helping us
know
break this
why.
down, because this is complicated stuff. RICO statutes are difficult to interpret, and I think even the district
No,
attorney
I
brought
don't
in
want
someone
Rudy.
who specializes in
Block this
RICO
part
statutes,
out.
knowing that to get these grand jury
Get out of my
back,
screen. Dang.
prosecutors really have to lay out
I don't see Rudy.
case.
Where?
So a lot went into this. It's been 2
I
years.
still see her.
But whether or not she's
Okay.
going to lay out the thought process, who she interviewed, what she's thinking if this case goes to trial. Jeff, that's a great question. It's anyone's guess.
Can
at
you
this
see
point.
my
We are
screen
set up
down?
inside. We have a live location. of
Yeah,
live
on my
cameras,
screen I
and
see
we have
you,
all
and
that
I see.
information as soon as
I don't know if it's somehow traded
and a
a
lot of
bit
people
when I took over the recording, but everything I'm seeing is just still this
hours. They've
report.
been standing outside this courthouse for a
I
week,
think I
locking
know
in
what
their
I did.
positions, waiting to see what's going to come out of this. So really down to the 11th hour here,
Let me
we're
see,
getting this
hold on.
information in.
See,
Oh,
it doesn't play through there.
Okay, now I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, I know. I'm fixing that. Okay. It's gonna have to be this.
But the coming years.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Then
curious.
I will
to see
just
what
make
this
sure
news
that
conference
this is
looks like.
down
It may
enough
be
where
like-
I can
you may
hear.
not show your hand as of yet.
You really will.
It'd be very interesting to see. Caitlin, thank you.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it's got the captions too.
Joe Ridley, he is also outside of the courthouse. Joe has been live for us all day. So Joe, you're hearing it with us.
Go, Joe.
There
Go,
are
Joe.
19
Let's
people
go,
named
Joe.
in this indictment. It is a RICO.
It was kind of hot.
41 charges. Paper
God damn it.
nearly 100
Keep
pages.
it.
So can you paint a picture? Have there been any movement out there? I see a
That's
couple
so
of
bad, y'all. I loves me a cute man.
Has there been increased?
That might be the Southern
All right,
Belle.
let me move us so we can get the full. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, so in fact, just moments ago, we saw an armored vehicle from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office race
Why
by us
are you
here
on my
MLK
screen?
Drive. We're posted up at the corner at MLK Drive, and
I almost lost it.
see a portion of it is blocked off
Okay.
now by
Hold on.
deputies as they continue to secure this area. You mentioned a little bit about this indictment, Faith. Well,
They definitely have to keep the area secure, but
Just the
that's
back.
what I will say about
charges, at least,
Georgia people.
according to this
There are
indictment,
people who, they really look, but
they
I think that there are more
understand RICO
Southerners here who are more socially conservative
President is
than there are the crazy MAGA types.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why they don't hold a ton of rallies in Georgia.
against
In Georgia, yeah.
This, we see throughout these.
So I'm glad she's taking a precaution, but I don't think she has to really worry about it.
What
Yeah.
DA Willis is calling a furtherance of the conspiracy. You might have heard the phrase "big lie," that Georgia's 2020 election was somehow tainted, somehow inaccurate, and
It's a
going
big
against
BS is what it is.
Exactly.
which is that he would.
While we're waiting,
This indictment then goes on to.
I got the
explain
email back regarding our
President
merch.
Trump
Okay.
Twitter.
Do you want me to wait until we are offline to discuss this?
His strategy, his philosophy of why.
Oh, you can go ahead. It's going to be something that the viewers will
this indictment
be able to partake in.
So guys, we're coming out with some stuff.
Trump is believed to have reached out to, including.
We're going to come out with a couple of different shirts.
Including
And we're going to come out with some coffee cups, small and large. I believe they're 11 ounce
and this is just
and 15 ounce.
We've got an hour hand on this,
But
which has now been made public. As
I'm going to forward you the email
again
that she sent, but I will show them on the camera
over some of this
what
testimony, speeding up their timeline. We thought this information might come out within the next day or two.
What is taking so long with them coming out?
I know.
So far, we have not heard of any rumblings of protest.
Okay, I'm going to send this over to you.
Coming days, as some of these defendants,
there's people. Look, there's people.
There's people.
Would.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll wait until this is over
really about the
because I think Bonnie's going to be coming in sooner.
No, shortly after this, we'll give our takes and then we'll just get off. But I'm really, I just want to be on here long enough to see what they are talking about.
Cheating scandal.
Well, I forwarded the email to you from our
ongoing
sponsor.
And indication. This could take a while to unpack.
Yeah, that's right. We've been on for like 2 weeks and we got a first sponsor already.
We're facing.
Yes. Yes, because people love when they can see some genuineness.
Come on, bring this funny stuff up.
Yes, please.
Inside
and for our all fired up, I'm gonna have some new nails. I took my nails off tonight.
I know you were telling me about that. I was like,
yeah.
What color?
Try using my
what are we gonna do?
You guys would say we learned that
I'm gonna try building them myself.
In this indictment, 41 charges, and I just want to go through some of the charges for you before we turn to our Zach Merchant.
Get it, girl.
I know.
Through this indictment.
She's so cute too.
She is.
Count one, the biggest one that has been heavily speculated for the last couple of weeks, months. Violation of the Georgia RICO, Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organizations.
Yeah, baby.
So that was one of the charges. We also have multiple conspiracy charges, solicitation of violation of oath by public officer, false statements and writings. I mean, the list goes on, Zach. So you've been reading through it and you've circled some things, some significant points here.
Yeah, I haven't gone far. I am still working on getting through the full indictment here. Here are the points that are sticking out to me right now. The first.
What's really funny to me is the guy at the end. He reminds me of my friend Drew. My friend Drew wore a suit. Drew's very down home guy.
13 counts of this.
Trump's charged with 13 counts.
41 page, or should say 41 count indictment. Of those counts, many of them are solicitation of
witch hunt.
Conspiracy.
Election interference.
Crimes.
Solicitation, meaning asking them to find 11,780 votes.
And he's so goofy, he won't stop running his mouth. He
really won't. He's asking to be put in jail.
He's gonna walk him. His mouth's gonna walk him right straight into a jail.
Okay, Brian, I see it. Sorry, my alerts are coming up. Everybody's getting on live.
This is how far the indictment is reaching right now.
And we're gonna have to go back and watch all of those.
Yes, Bo.
Oh, you know,
everybody.
Bo's gonna be the one I watch, man. I love him.
Yeah, for sure.
That brother, he's the kind of guy. Yeah.
If any of y'all are not subscribed to Bo of the Fifth Column,
yes,
I highly suggest you do so.
He seems like the kind of guy you can have a beer with and just talk. Yeah, I don't even drink beer because it just.
You could have a genuine discussion with about politics, and he will be open and honest.
I feel like I could drink a little umbrella drink with him. I would not drink a beer.
This long. There's a lot of redundancy in here. You see defendants named in repeated places in this long list of predicate acts.
So here's my question to you as I sit here and I think about the political ramifications of this. Is there an
I just flipped him off on the screen.
Supporters who plan on voting for him, which is a significant amount of people at this point, will see this in the political framework?
I think there's no question that there is a segment of
Dude, this is why we need cameras. This is why I keep saying we need cameras, because He's out there saying whatever he wants to say, but the evidence will not lie. And I know there's people saying, well, he'll just grab. No, because what will happen with the cameras in the courtroom is that he will realize he's in a courtroom. That's why he believes he behaves differently in a rally than he does when he's in the court. He's going to react the same way because he knows that his freedom's at risk when he's in the courtroom. He acted fool in the courtroom, he going straight to
Oh yeah, he's gonna straighten right up the minute he's in the courtroom, just like he has the other 3 times he's been indicted in the last 2 months.
And if he lies there, go to jail, not collect $200.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn my fan on real quick because it's hot in this room.
Yeah, it is hot. But will you turn the
just like we are.
Turn the air up or whatever. It's hot.
What the evidence is, and make their own minds up. And you're right, former President Trump is way out ahead in every poll.
I love how they try to do this. He's way out ahead. That don't mean
it don't matter.
He's way out
like,
ahead. Yeah, so was
cared.
Nixon before he went into the Watergate hearing.
Right.
He had a huge approval rating, and then by the time it all ended, he had like barely 2 people in the world. I wouldn't say barely 2. I'm just saying his approval rating went down because evidence is evidence.
Yes, it is.
And that's all it is. The people who run into a building for that man, they don't outnumber the people who actually like real facts.
1 pages of the indictment, a very thick portion of the indictment, without any indication of just how complicated this count is.
I think more than anything, RICO.
My prediction is that by the time that she has cameras in the courtroom for at least 4 to 6 weeks.
I think it also
by the end of 6 weeks, you'll see his approval ratings going from here to here. By the end of 6 weeks of trials.
Let's hope,
I will guarantee it. By the time it gets right around to about, I don't know, the actual election.
You get through
Now, Ron DeSantis is hoping for a bump up then. No, it's going to be someone else. It might be Liz Cheney. It might be Adam Kersinger.
In there.
It may be someone else.
I don't think either one of them are running.
They might. I'm just saying this. A more moderate Republican might have a chance, like Chris Christie. He might bump up. I see Chris Christie being a contender. Liz may throw her hat in the ring.
There's people.
So I am standing inside the press conference is about to begin, speaking a little low.
We gotta be quiet for this thing because I want to hear everything.
Them kind of setting up that background.
Once Fonnie comes out.
So we just got.
Oh yeah, when she comes out, I'm
here shortly.
I just feel like right now we're just gonna do our react talk. When she comes in, I ain't saying stuff. I might laugh.
That were handed down, so should be.
I might mute my microphone because I'll probably be laughing and shit.
So it should be any minute here, and we're just kind of standing by and waiting to see what we hear. And
any minute.
Not much, you know.
Look, people looking behind. Who y'all looking at? Who y'all looking at?
They're looking at us.
Attorney.
That's right.
She is kind of just.
Because literally hot Southern woman. It's because I'm hot. It's so hot here.
I know.
I'm melting.
What happened to your AC?
Huh?
What happened to your AC?
It's on, but it's just so hot.
It's just so hot.
It's just like.
It was above 90 here today, and it is still warm out.
And hearing that this press conference could come down any minute now, they are doing some audio checks.
I asked Zach while we were listening to Savannah about what do you think Fani Willis does here? Does she spell
I've
out?
never been so excited about anything in my life, girl, outside the birth of my babies.
Does she
the birth of my babies. And you know, my first big option for a screenplay, but those are the only things that I've been super excited about in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Indictment should do but we don't know. We simply don't know. We've heard, I think, more from the Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis publicly than certainly we have from Federal Special Counsel Jack Smith in the federal election probe.
Excuse me.
That
sorry, I just took my nighttime
I do want to circle
pills.
back to a point Faith made earlier, just moments ago.
We weren't expecting indictments to come down tonight.
Me either. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, whoa.
They had the grand jury stay late and everything. I had no idea.
We saw that of the 19 named defendants.
I knew that the former lieutenant governor was going to be going in to talk to her, but dang, I didn't think she was going to have him vote tonight.
which makes sense. That's why it's 71 pages of
That's awesome.
98 pages.
The devil's gonna go down Georgia, and he's gonna get him a RICO case.
Fire them out, run, boys, run.
Mhm.
Certainly, I think it's certainly a precedent-setting case right here in Georgia. This is
also,
well, not the least of which I think right off.
I was gonna say the devil's in the house.
I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that there has never been a more prominent defendant.
And Labatt, Chef Labatt or Labatt, however you say his name.
Up until earlier this year, a president had never been named in a criminal charge ever.
I am so sorry for yawning.
Named
Wow.
Indictments in other places around the country.
I'm not usually tired.
Right here in Fulton.
I'm not even gonna take. You know that medicine I was talking about taking. I'm probably not gonna take it till I get close to going to bed because that stuff is gonna knock me slap out.
Yeah.
I feel like this is.
But you do have to get up early tomorrow, so
the severity and the seriousness
relatively.
of it has been.
My meeting with Robert.
This has never happened in our state before. It is going
while
to
we're
be
waiting,
a challenge.
look at your
our city
email.
and our state has never.
All right.
And certainly, Bonnie Willis, she's an experienced prosecutor. She's never prosecuted a case against a defendant like this.
I'll let you know when she comes down.
President here in Atlanta at some point for mugshot.
Hold on.
The former president and 18 other of the named defendants.
When do you think that happens? Any idea?
It's going to be a challenge.
Happen this week?
Never in all my days.
Sorry,
No, it's okay. I think we mentioned earlier, it's sort of thing.
Sorry, I'm just excited, so I'm singing everything.
Me too.
I'm
so excited. I'm about to lose control when I think I like you.
Oh, I did my things today, my molds.
Oh, I like the black shirt.
Might learn together.
My black shirt?
Press conference.
Oh,
Looking at the merch.
that one.
Oh, the cup is. Oh, boo! Look at the cup. Oh, crap. Wait a minute. Let me show
But
you.
did you see the email about the samples?
Do the court periods.
This is what you're talking about, right? With the shirts and stuff?
It's supposed to
The cups?
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Georgia, but the
But
question
there
is,
should have been an email up there at the top about the cost for the samples.
Same day, and even when it comes to a
Here, look, boo. See, there's the cup.
will these folks be tried together? Will they be tried separately? There's still a lot of
All right.
about RICO charges.
Yeah, and 19 defendants, right? I think you're
Okay.
funny here when you think about down the line now, how does this play out?
That's pretty close to what I paid
But you.
for the other ones. Actually, hers is cheaper.
The state strategy, the prosecutor's strategy will be, I think it's likely that there will be arguments on motions.
I am digging that. That is so cool.
Severing some
It's cool.
case and effectively, instead of having one large trial with all 19 defendants, spin out some defendants into their own trials.
Go, Fonny.
And there may be
It's your
pushback, it may be
birthday.
argued.
Get that
I'm sure
RICO
maybe
like
that's,
it's your
something that we
birthday.
can see that in the coming weeks and months.
Oh my
And I
god.
wanna bring
My
in
husband
here
says that I rap like I'm
all
white. I'm
are
like,
not,
honey,
No,
I
just
am
read
white.
Kind of in. Heck, I rap like I'm white.
But I'm like, you don't hear me singing like Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like I know the words to their songs and I can keep up.
What these charges
Girl, I can't even twerk. I know somebody's gonna come and take my black card for that one, but I can't. I've tried.
Girl,
We talk about this.
So messed up.
It is.
come.
It is.
I can do this though.
Their own minds about something that is at the core of.
I can do the sassy black girl.
country's
This is about as much dancing as you're gonna get out of me tonight.
Although we have to tell everybody that we pretty much almost jumped up and did our equivalent of a split when we heard.
Yeah, so we're like really giddy right now.
Yes. And me
So we're acting a
getting
fool, that's why.
Both still cameras and video cameras are typically allowed inside the courtrooms.
And then when I get off with you, I'm probably gonna put my stuff
likely how this
to the side and do my nails, which means I'm gonna be up late tonight.
And we now have
Girl, why don't you just do it? Is this when you wake up?
I'll probably do it in the morning because
indictments.
Because I know you you tired already.
yeah,
I need to
I'll
hurry up
probably
with this
fall
press
out not
conference.
too long after.
any of this in
Come on, Fonnie.
surprise
Let's go,
as
girl.
far as your expectation to begin the evening?
Yeah, ever since you did the whole "It's your birthday," it's in my head every time I see Fonnie. Say Fonnie. Go, Fonnie. It's your birthday.
I can't wait to see her butt in court.
They're not surprised. Is like,
Oh my God.
Oh, she's gonna make him cry. They're all gonna cry. You know why they're gonna cry?
You.
The evidence is overwhelming. They're gonna say stuff. Here's what I know, just based on how I see her.
Yes.
She's gonna ask some questions. They're gonna be like, I didn't do that. I didn't. She goes, oh really? Oh really? Bam! Here's some evidence.
It's some
They're gonna be like,
evidence.
oh crap!
it's
That's what's gonna happen. You want that money?
Did you see the sample costs?
defendant.
The what?
The actual charges
Costs
here,
for the
Joe,
samples?
we had a sense that
The cups?
fairly broad.
No. I sent you an
case
email
against
like 5 minutes ago.
multiple named
I'm
defendants
checking the I see it, but I don't know what email. The only one I see on the top says sample products.
to see 19.
Hold on. Let me see what I named
I
it.
didn't expect to see as many as I think.
I should have waited until we were done.
41 counts in
Yeah, because I don't see anything from.
I just sent it to you.
Unindicted.
So that means we have.
It's the sepia siren one, right?
And then the district attorney's office believes there are 30 other people who have
It says
some exposure.
sample
to
products and then
who have not, for one reason or another.
yeah, underneath my email
Not to
stuff,
say that they
Mhm.
could a
it
superseding.
should say like, okay, I can do the mugs at,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
okay.
Against new people in connection.
So should I tell her to go ahead with it?
Indictment.
Well, again, I'd like to really wait till we have a little bit more subscribers.
And
I'm seeing it as I don't want to pay for a bunch of merch yet until we have more.
around the country, it's
Crap.
very, very.
Right, I didn't know, well, you said that you wanted
Some of these names that
a
I
cop, you
recognize
wanted
somehow
one of the shirts and one of
Yeah.
the mugs.
Yeah, we can get shirts and stuff.
themselves.
Well,
have
that's what-
Individual shirts and stuff.
legal
That's what that is. She wants to send us samples.
direct
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
potential economic destruction of their own portfolio or their own savings is going to be very intense.
It's going to be something to watch for sure. And I think you
What is
touched
she
on
looking at?
one of, not the only, but
I think
one of the
she's
reasons
looking
so many
at-
criminal cases, both at the federal level and at the state level.
On a
And
computer or something.
Or anybody sees
Laptop.
of a trial,
Yeah.
the inside of a courthouse, at least for a trial purpose, it's expensive. It can take a long
She's
time.
trying to keep up with real time stuff, I
It can also
guess.
take a lot of
Yeah.
time and a lot of researchers from
Like
the
we are, kind of.
Maybe she's looking for.
Yeah, because I see people even in the sitting there with their little laptops.
Oh,
out.
absolutely. They're probably looking for who's saying what.
There is
I'm sure it's going to be election interference.
Oh yeah. Oh, for the political witch hunt, election.
Oh, I'm sure
interference.
Marjorie is already up there talking
as well as,
stuff.
You know, the thing that aggravates me about the whole thing when they say that stuff too.
there's a-
Okay, it's like we said last time. What do you think? The evidence fairy is going around collecting reams of evidence. Some of them from gazillions of years ago. They went in time machines and found that stuff and planted evidence. I mean, the level
Right.
it would take to create the conspiracy that they think is out there. It's just crazy. Dude, the government could barely run a DMV, but they got this super complicated freaking thing going on.
For that reason, but
Yeah.
folks who fall in the income.
It's
level,
like, dude, think about how many times you tried to even call the government about maybe something going on with like your disability payment or what's another. Think about your water bill. You know what I'm saying? You're like waiting forever and listening to the girl from Ipanema on the line as you're trying. You're like, you're the 15th caller in line. You know, but they got this super sophisticated conspiracy theory happening.
Gone to my email another statement from the Trump campaign. They did send one before.
Oh
this-
God, do I even want to hear this? I might go la la la. I don't even like hearing him
And now here's
or his
another
lies or his words.
truth about Bonnie Willis, and he's really going after her here. This campaign is going after her. Bonnie Willis.
Of course, when you don't have a leg to stand on.
She's a Democrat.
Well, she's well. It's the
That's
thing.
what
In a
he's
company
saying.
with two parties,
I'll do this.
one person's either going to be a Republican or a
Girl, there is
Democrat.
only one party and then there's a cult. We know this.
Yes, and here's the thing that aggravates me. So it's going to be either or. So the only judges that are going to be fair are the ones that are on your side. and you want to go to every justice on your side because that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Judges, I suppose, they're trained to be impartial. Are they always impartial? No, and that's where you can have them removed. But she's going to go by the letter of the law. She's going to go by the evidence leads. You know, so... Yeah.
Willis or Judge Robert McBurney.
Yeah, and see, they're talking about when Trump was trying to remove Fani.
Yeah, and the reason why
he failed.
He said you would have your day.
He failed because he had no leg to stand on. He could not show any true, like she's going after him. He's just whining. Every criminal goes, the judge hates me.
Yeah.
The lawyer hates me.
It just so happens that all of these different places have the same stuff or different stuff that shows the same thing.
They will run on time.
All these states have proof of the same type of crime, but with different people.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all Democrats?
Oh, the Republicans who don't like him, they're right.
They're all proved as guilt, as being allegedly guilty until proved, innocent until proven guilty.
19 people named in
But
this indictment, a total of 41
those
they're all
people are all
rhinos.
caught with their little selfie pictures and stuff.
co-conspirators. So a lot of folks.
They're all rhinos, girl. The Republicans that do the law, they're rhinos. The Democrats are all out to get them. The only good ones are the ones that are in his pocket. So you notice he doesn't attack Cannon. He's the only one he don't attack. I wonder why.
On the national stage, there have been so many questions about all.
And we'll wait till. Do you see he's trying to get a skiff?
2.5 years we heard from
that
district attorney of the
that made my soul leave my body when I heard that.
Yeah, let's give him a priority place.
Process is.
No.
I want to just add to.
No, you don't get to do that at the place where you committed the crime.
Wait.
Experts.
Can we have the murder crime at the house where I stabbed my wife? No.
Why are you coming up on my...
His attorneys more than some of the other cases. The federal cases.
Like perfect time for virus stuff to come up.
Oh, no.
You, in all likelihood, will have the
That's
capacity.
why I got rid of it.
Federal investigations into his
They said they were like 30 seconds away from Fani.
Oversight
30 seconds?
That's what they said
case.
when they started this.
No such power.
This whole thing here?
The statement right here.
Government.
So I think she's going to be coming out any second. Or any minute, anyway.
But
dun, 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 dun.
the president to pardon anybody charged with state crimes. We are not saying.
Why do I hear Pirates of Penzance in my head? Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. I guess it's because it's so jaunty.
Widely talked about. We've done multiple verifies on it. If former President Trump gets convicted in Georgia, can he be pardoned? We know that we have a Republican governor here.
Ooh, here we go. Here we go, girl. Okay, I'm turning my mic off. Hold on.
Okay.
The podium.
I'm muting myself.
Listen in.
Thank you for joining us. I'm here with the prosecutors and investigators who have worked diligently on the investigation of criminal attempts to interfere in the administration of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state. The indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long. Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump, Rudolph William Louis Giuliani, John Charles Eastman, Mark Randall Meadows, Shawn Still, Jeffrey Clark, Jenna Ellis, Ray Stallings Smith III, Robert David Cheeley, Michael A. Roman, David James Shafer, Shawn Still, Stephen Cliffgard Lee, Harrison William Prescott Floyd, Trevian Kutti, Sidney Powell, Kathleen Austin Latham, Scott Graham Hall, and Misty Hampton, also known as Emily Misty Hayes. Every individual charged in the indictment is charged with one count of violating Georgia's Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act through participation in a criminal enterprise in Fulton County, Georgia, and elsewhere to accomplish the illegal goal of allowing Donald J. Trump to seize the presidential term of office beginning on January 20th, 21. Specifically, the participants in association took various actions in Georgia and elsewhere to block the counting of the votes of the presidential electors who were certified as the winners of Georgia's 2020 general election. As you examine the indictment, you will see acts that are identified as overt acts and those that are identified as predicate acts, sometimes called acts of racketeering activity. Overt acts are not necessarily crimes under Georgia law in isolation, but are alleged to be acts taken in furtherance of the conspiracy. Many occurred in Georgia, and some occurred in other jurisdictions and are included because the grand jury believes they were part of the illegal effort to overturn the results of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. The acts identified as predicate acts or acts of racketeering activity are crimes that are alleged to have been committed in furtherance of the criminal enterprise. Acts of racketeering activity are also charged as separate counts in the indictment against those who are alleged to have committed them. All elections in our nation are administered by the states, which are given the responsibility of ensuring a fair process and an accurate counting of the votes. That includes elections for presidential electors, Congress, state officials, and local offices. The state's role in this process is essential to the functioning of our democracy. Georgia, like every state, has laws that allow those who believe that results of an election are wrong, whether because of intentional wrongdoing or unintentional error, to challenge those results in our state courts. The indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result. Subsequent to the indictment, as is the normal process in Georgia law, the grand jury issued arrest warrants for those who are charged. I am giving the defendants the opportunity to voluntarily surrender no later than noon on Friday, the 25th day of August, 2023. I remind everyone here that an indictment is only a series of allegations based on a grand jury's determination of probable cause to support the charges. It is now the duty of my office to prove these charges in the indictment beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. I would like to take a moment to thank the Superior Court Clerk, Shay Alexander, and her staff for staying late and making sure that this indictment was processed. I would also like to thank the men and women of Sheriff Labatt's office for keeping the courthouse open, but most importantly, for keeping us safe over the weeks and months that have led up to this indictment, and for what I know they will continue to do to keep us safe. We also want to thank the Atlanta Police Department and other law enforcement partners who have worked with the sheriff to keep us safe. I will now take a very limited number of questions prior to going to sleep.
Question, can you clarify in Georgia the mandatory minimum when it comes to RICO charges, whether it's servable by probation or how that might play out?
The RICO charges have time that you have to serve, so it is not a probated sentence.
What's the time?
What is the timetable for the trial? As you know, in this jurisdiction, trials are set by the judges. And so it will be the judge that sets the date of the trial. This office will be submitting a proposed scheduling order within this week. However, that will totally be at the discretion of the judge.
And one of you go through the fourth jurisdiction now to indict up. One's triumph or continue it up? You want to be the first triumph?
I don't have any desire to be first or last. I want to try him and be respectful for our sovereign states. We do want to move this case along, and so we will be asking for a proposed order that occurs a trial date within the next 6 months.
District Attorney, there was earlier today was a fictitious document according to the multi-county clerk's office that was circulated online when charges against former President Donald Trump. That fictitious document matched exactly the charges that we now see in this indictment. Can you tell us more about that document, please? Because now you have the former president's lawyers who are saying this is emblematic of a serious problem with your office.
No, I can't tell you anything about what you refer to. What I can tell you is that we had a grand jury here in Fulton County. They deliberated till almost 8 o'clock, if not right after 8 o'clock. An indictment was returned. It was true billed, and you now have an indictment. I am not an expert on clerks' duties or even administrative duties. I wouldn't know how to work that system, and so I'm not going to speculate. Next question.
Have you had contacts with the special counsel about overclassifying cases, and do you intend to try all of these defendants together?
Do I intend to try the 19 defendants in this indictment together? Yes.
Have you had any contact with the special counsel about the overlap between this indictment and the federal indictment?
I'm not going to discuss our investigation at this time.
What do you make of the arguments made by former President Trump that this is a politically motivated indictment?
I make decisions in this office based on the facts and the law. The law is completely nonpartisan. That's how decisions are made in every case. To date, this office has indicted, since I've been sitting as a district attorney, over 12,000 cases. This is the 11th RICO indictment. We followed the same process. We look at the facts, we look at the law, and we bring charges.
Would you try this case yourself?
All right, so you were just listening at DA Connie Willis giving a press conference, and of note, she read.
Hey, girl, you hear that? That's the sound of some ketchup splashing on a wall somewhere because somebody's
I
really
think Sheriff LeBeau was like, sit down.
Yeah. Because it brought up some kind of document. I don't even know what that document's supposed to be about. And I don't trust them. It's just like the whole cocaine at the White House stuff.
Yeah.
They will try to throw curveballs. They'll plant stuff to throw curveballs.
So what if like a clerk or somebody leaked it? So what? It wasn't true billed until tonight.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit
So
about
which means it wasn't a legal document until tonight.
Yeah. So they can shut up.
Yeah.
To me, there's always going to be people trying to put monkey wrench in the works, but those little things, you're talking about the thing about Jack Smith and her case, they got such a body of evidence. Little stuff like that's not going to do anything but be a blip. And all it is food for the conspiracy theorists. They can run around and claim something, but don't nobody with any brains care.
You see how she was like, I'm not going to discuss this when they asked if you were working with Jack Smith.
Attorney just a moment ago say it.
He's like, that I ain't answering that. I just
on their own, but when prosecutors can prove, as they say they can here, those overt acts are conducted as an effort to further the overall conspiracy, that's when they get dragged into the indictment and into the RICO case. And I think it's worth noting here that both an overt act and a
you see how they got the courthouse blocked off right there? Yeah, that's how they've been doing it for like.
Well, they're gonna have to because people are crazy.
Oh heck yeah!
Between
I caught myself that time.
And Secretary.
Yeah, that's what I did my short on. How they were closing down like, and it's like 4 blocks around the courthouse.
Well, do me a favor.
I'll send
We'll probably go ahead and stop this thing. Yeah, since this is going to be them kind of.
She will be the.
Where are you?
I think
stop sharing the screen.
She has ever tried. I don't think that's an exaggeration. And I think this will be the case.
All right, because right now it's just going to be them kind of going over what.
Okay, but actually, let me. It says recording. Can you? Do you see?
I can stop the. Well, you're recording on. If I stop recording all of this stuff, everything.
No, I think it'll save it to your side.
It's the same process. She says it's not partisan
because you're recording it.
Opened it up before.
Yeah, but I want to say goodbye to everybody before we do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. And we're gonna keep getting information going with this particular.
Are charged
the developments. I'm sitting in Georgia, so I'll probably be able to see a lot of what the local news is saying and bring you some of the local hot takes and what people here on the ground are saying as well.
Yes, and we will definitely be going live when we find out when Trump will be making his big old ass trip down to Georgia to turn himself in, because we're okay to go live on YouTube starting tomorrow. So
and tomorrow evening, and then we'll look at me going physically down there. But I'm going to try to figure out what day we're going to
somebody with you.
And timetable.
Yeah, I know. It's like somebody who can fly and tackle somebody.
I'm telling you. But thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you live hopefully soon.
Yep. Bye, guys.